with concussion, so understand that we've got this jelly-like structure and the brain in a bony vault, the skull. And when we have an acceleration, deceleration type movement, and with or without head impact, you don't need to have a head impact. So a whiplash-based injury where your head goes backwards and forwards, where you actually don't hit anything, can cause what we describe as the coup, counter coup, as well as obviously if we were to hit something, hit someone's helmet, hit the floor, or hit a wall, or hit someone's fist. So we can get what we call the coup, counter coup, whereby we have the coup is the primary or the first impact. In this instance, a forward head impact will cause a coup in the frontal lobe. The counter coup is the rebound effect that happens generally on the opposite side of the side of impact. So in this instance, if we hit the front, which is the frontal area, the skull, we've got the coup. So we've got that forward. So as we move forward, we hit something that's stationary. The brain continues moving forward, hits the front of this jelly matrix or jelly structure, hits the front of the skull, and we get the primary impact, which is the coup. As the skull rebounds back, as the brain rebounds back, it hits the opposite part of the skull. In this instance, the occiput, and we get a counter coup. Or second impact, or second impact, not the best way to describe it because it's used for something else, but it's almost like the rebound effect. Now, typically, obviously, the impact is less in terms of force in the counter coup relative to the coup. So obviously, we've got a lot of other materials which can absorb some of that force. So the impact is generally less on the counter coup relative to the coup. Okay, and this is what it can look like in slow motion with this little animation. You can see, note the side of impact, the coup continues, hits, and then you can see the counter coup in there. I'll repeat that. The coup happens at the front, and then note the counter coup as it hits the back of the skull. Boom, there's the counter coup right there. Okay, that's a nice way to describe it. I often use this at times with patients to show things. I had a patient just the other day who's a highly anxious woman who suffered a concussion. For a moment, I thought that it'd probably be a good idea to show her what this would look like, and then I decided against it because I think if she saw what really happened to her brain when she had a concussion, I think I would be picking her up off the floor and she'd be in a puddle of mess. So, maybe be cautious as to who you show that to.